Welcome, Satellite fans, another edition of Satellite Sunday. We have offensive lineman, defensive lineman, and center on the basketball team, multi-star athlete here from South Central High School. Brayden, what's good? What's popping? And what is it going, my dude?
Nothing much. It's just been kind of cold out, rainy lately. Haven't was planning on going fishing, but I don't think that's going to happen today.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been blessed with good weather lately, but it's starting to get into that winter mode. Speaking of
Mhm.
getting that to winter mode, okay, you guys are in your later part of the season here. You had a heartbreaker on Friday night against Lake Station. What do you do to improve after two close games? Okay, one, you guys won, and then now kind of just barely losing to Lake Station.
Yeah, you can tell we're getting better. We're coming closer as a team. Just in we're not getting blown out like we were in the beginning of the season, and part of that is due to just our energy. Like we got to have more energy on the line. That's why we won against OCL Grace because we came in. We knew we were gonna. It was gonna be different than the other weeks. We had a lot more energy than we had before. I think we needed that a little bit more last Friday.
Absolutely. You guys came and you saw because it was a big time game because Osceola has been either blown out or they've blown people out. Okay. So you guys knew you had to get up for that game. Okay. Where Lake Station, they're kind of middle level team and stuff like that. It's almost like a Notre Dame playing a Marshall after Ohio State. Okay. You play a really great game 1 week and it's a little bit of a letdown. Okay. So kind of flashbacking a little bit, how did you start in the game of football?
So I didn't start out super young like everybody else. I actually started playing in eighth grade. That was the COVID year. Like everybody was, I don't know. I think it was just to try something new. My mom wanted me out of the house. All my friends were always encouraging me because I was always the biggest kid in the grade. But I don't know. I don't know why I didn't start before, but I'm glad I did because it was a great experience. I love that junior high team. I still am friends with all the people. Just great.
Absolutely. Being a small town feel and stuff like that. So, what is your goals throughout this season and without kind of building on next two seasons for you?
Yeah. So goals for this year is to just get better, and get better relationships with everybody on the team because we're not going to lose a lot of seniors. So that it's it's bad that we don't have that many seniors, but it's good because we're going to have just about the same team as before. So we'll all be, you know, we'll all still be good friends and we'll all like trust each other more. And I think that'll really help us next year a lot.
Absolutely. So, you guys can be all in one unit, build on what you guys kind of seeing what you guys are kind of doing lately here because we've broadcast a lot of your games like the Triton game, the Osceola game, a lot of the home games, and seeing kind of where you guys are at and stuff like that, even from Wheeler to Osceola, it was night and day, kind of looking at it and stuff like that. So, kind of building off of that and kind of going through that because you guys have great pieces, okay? But I think one more year will help you guys develop into that.
Yeah, definitely.
But kind of going through everything with kind of the season and stuff like that. So, what was kind of the mood before the season and before kind of going through on 2 days and stuff like that?
Yeah. So from the beginning of the season, we all kind of knew it was going to be a rebuild year, especially losing, 11 seniors and like key pieces like Tony and Matt and Wazar and all them. Like that, those are big losses. You can't just replace that over 1 year. So we all knew it was going to be a rebuild year, and we're all really excited about next year. We all think we can do a lot better than what we're looking at right now.
But kind of looking at it right now and stuff like that, what do you do this week with River Forest and stuff like that, learning from your past mistakes and stuff like that to grow within this game and with the line as well?
Yeah. Again, it should be an energy thing because River Forest has kind of been our kind of like our conference rival for a couple years now, and they don't like us like we don't like them. We beat them last year, and they're coming back for blood with it. They want to beat us just as bad as we do. So energy is going to be really big and preparing for like they get some good athletic guys. So we're just I don't know, it's probably just energy, biggest thing.
Absolutely. What is one of your superstitions with football?
So one of my superstitions is always going to the gas station before the game. You got to get a Monster. You got to get a Gatorade, like the Pedialyte stuff. But you can't
Mhm.
eat before. You're just gonna feel heavy. So that's if I had to say, that's probably one of my superstitions.
Okay. What kind of monster?
Pipeline Punch is the best flavor in my opinion.
Okay, okay. You heard it right now. Pipeline punch. Okay. So, kind of going into the basketball season and stuff like that, what did you learn in the first 2 years for this year to kind of grow from kind of a rebuilding year last year in the basketball sense?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this year. Spear's been helping me with post moves and stuff where before I wasn't. I was okay at that stuff, and I wasn't. I didn't have that much touch around the rim. I was just always taller. So in like junior high and stuff, I would just catch the ball and put it back up, and that was my whole game. But I'm really excited because he's helped me with my physicality and footwork and all that stuff, and just moving faster and being more sure and confident in what I'm doing. But yeah,
Nice. Okay. So, what are some aspects of the game of basketball that football has helped you and seeing your kind of growth throughout the first couple years?
yeah. So basketball and football kind of go like together, and they help me. Uh, they just kind of help me get better at both because basketball will help me like keep my head up and looking at stuff and having good vision because you got to always look where everybody is, especially if you're down low getting the ball passed to you and all that sort of stuff. And then football has really helped me with basketball in the sense like of being physical and like actually being able to push people around because I before I wouldn't do that, but that's definitely probably helped the most.
Absolutely. Okay. So, what is your favorite post move?
Ooh, my favorite post move is probably the up and under. You fake right. There's somebody coming to help on that side, and you just go back around. I get Spear a lot with that one. He'll tell you. He knows that's his weak point.
Hey, that's good to have that. It's okay, especially if you're playing fast. Just to have that kind of center, kind of like slow it up a little bit, slow it up in your heads and stuff like that. Because I know from past experience having coaches that say slow it up, slow it up. It's a little bit different having a philosophy as Spears, where he's just like play, okay, and just have fun and kind of go and learn and stuff like that. So how kind of refreshing is that? Even though you had a players coach with Joe Wagner too.
Mm.
So how is that transition from Wagner to Spears?
Yeah. So when Wagner left, that was right before my freshman year, so I never really did have him as a high school coach. But I I wasn't entirely excited about his like super slow it down. Like I just wasn't a fan of that, honestly. I don't, but I really do like the way Spears changed it up and like moving the ball faster and like run the floor and all that stuff. So
Hey, I totally agree with you. I had a coach with brands that was even slower than Wagner. Okay. So it was just like super slow. Okay. So kind of playing for a guy like Spears. Okay. What are some kind of advantages and disadvantages of playing some like a speed kind of tempo kind of game here?
Yeah, some of the advantages would be like a catch and shoot type of guy like Kimmel. Kimmel's going to really thrive, I feel like, in this style of play just because his catch and shoot is incredible. And same with guys like Colton Bennett who can make a fast break, and Braden Grass can make a fast break, and Derek Walsh can shoot, and Colin can handle the ball. And like new freshmen with Jay can do the same thing. So I think it just benefits everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so how did you get started in basketball?
Basketball for me started like really like the first intramural leagues my parents could put me in for the school. Like I was there. That was the winter leagues.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so kind of getting into all that stuff. You said back in like junior high, all you had to do is just put it up. Okay, so were you always like the tallest kid, kind of playing and stuff like that?
Yeah, I always was. I'm a little bit older than everybody else in my grade, but not by much really. But yeah, as long as I can remember, I've just been the tallest, biggest kid. So yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so what are some things that kind of help you, like with maybe even self care, with kind of playing year round, okay, with basketball, with football, okay, that kind of even the younger, okay, even though you're in your sophomore year, okay, you still got a lot of high school to play here, okay, they kind of teach to even the freshmen behind you and eighth graders and seventh graders to kind of take a second to yourselves, to kind of be focused and locked in into these games coming up.
yeah, you got to be locked in whatever you play. I learned that especially start coming into this year. Like before, I would just be lollygagging before a game, like just messing around, and I still do that stuff. But when a time comes like 20 minutes before a game, I'm sitting there, I'm like in my head, I got AirPods in, I'm listening to whatever, I'm listening to X, just getting locked in. That's probably one of the biggest things for me that helps to get locked in.
Absolutely. What's your playlist?
It's my playlist is four XXX songs, and they're all like him just just screaming, just like random stuff, which is about shooting people and stuff, which obviously does not you know relate to me, but it gets you hyped. So
Absolutely. It gets you hyped and gets you kind of into the mindset and kind of that, not mad kind of thing, but in that kind of hype zone kind of. I get you.
yeah,
Um, for me, reason why my career didn't go, I had the Beach Boys. I kind of wanted to mellow out before a game, kind of because I knew I was kind of like tense, like with butterflies and stuff like that. So I would listen to the Beach Boys and kind of mellow. And then once game time hits, when you hear like "Welcome to the Jungle" when you're at Lacrosse or Tri Township now. So what are some of the marquee gyms that you've played in so far in one of the most historic conferences in Northwest Indiana and in Indiana, period, with the Porter County Conference?
yeah. So last year, lacrosse was really cool to play in because my grandpa would always tell me the stories about him playing in the same gym, and just watching Hoosiers and growing up in the Indiana basketball scene, like it's obviously super historic. That was really cool to be able to play in there finally because I've watched games and stuff in there. And then another cool one was Whiting, but they got that super cool like almost dome sort of thing. That was fun to play in too.
Absolutely. Have you guys played in the Oregon Davis's gym yet?
Oh yeah, Oregon Davis was a cool one too, with like, but the way they have their hoops, how it's just coming down from the ceiling, no backdrop, just kind of always messes everybody up. That was kind of messing me up too, but it was cool to play in a big dome like that too.
Absolutely, especially in a small school like that and have that big of a like dome area. Um, so was one of my favorite gyms, but at the same time, the crowd and everything, I wasn't a big fan of because it can get rowdy in there, and it can be yeah. Same with lacrosse, uh, because like your grandfather, I have stories playing in there, uh, especially like in a winter scene. You go for a loose ball, you might be in a parking lot, kind of thing. So, but kind of getting back. So, what are some of your goals in the next 2 years for baseball, for basketball, and for football?
Yeah, so I would definitely for basketball like to develop more of a all around sort of style of playing, where I'm not just sitting there looking for a post move. Like I can make a move and get to the basket and score by myself. That's a big thing me and Spirit have been working on. Like that's a goal we hopefully want to be able to do that by maybe some of it by the end of this year. But I'm really looking forward to that.
Absolutely. How's your 15-foot jump shot?
It's getting there, honestly. From the beginning of my freshman year, I could not shoot basketball. I still can't that well, but it's definitely a lot better than it was.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the things every post faker should know. And then you get a nice little pump fake, get somebody out of the jump shoes after you've hit a couple, and then drive. Um, that's kind of what I always kind of like doing. Kind of get into that like Tim Duncan kind of
Yeah,
mode and stuff like that. And I think with the offense that he runs, I think that's something that you kind of would look at after the football season, see how kind of the tape on Duncan and stuff like that, and all the post moves he had. It made it look smooth. And then the 15-foot jump shot and this and that, dumped down to a cutting guard. Um, there's a lot of things that's, I think, watching you a little bit last year on JV and a little bit on varsity, um, there's a lot of potential there. Okay. There's a lot of potential. I think this year we'll see it by the end of the year, kind of what you do with varsity and stuff like that. But on this last segment is get to know you a little bit more. It's called the hot corner. So I'm going to ask rapid questions, kind of. It's going to be a little bit slower and rapid, but so what is your go-to meal before a game or after a game?
so before a game, like I said, I don't like to eat anything. Just get some, fluids like water, or Gatorade, or something like that. But after a game, usually if it's an away game, they'll have sandwiches, and you trade your way up to whatever you want. But then after a football game, a lot of the guys go to Applebee's, so that would have to be one of the biggest post game meals.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. Okay, so what is the go-to snack?
Mm. My go-to snack would probably be Doritos. Like the purple Doritos are the best Doritos. Like the sweet spicy chili, mm, it's just perfect.
Okay, okay. So what is your favorite position on the basketball floor and on the football field?
So on basketball, I really like just um when we're in our zone and I'm just the middle guy. And then you got some little 5 foot nothing guard on JV just trying to prove himself. But then he just comes in and at that point I probably don't care, and I definitely foul him a lot whenever they come down there. But just swatting the crap out of those little guys is probably my favorite thing to do basketball. And then
Just
in football,
the block, I like it.
mhm, yeah, and then football,
Okay,
I really like the defense side, so like defensive end and all that.
okay. Nice, nice, nice. So you like getting at it. You like Aaron Donald kind of thing, other than uh, like Quentin Nelson kind of thing. Okay, I see you. I see you. I like you like making that zack, okay? The just go wild after the sack, okay, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Okay, okay. So, what's your favorite sports movie of all time?
Oof. That's a tough one, but I probably have to say, mm, probably Waterboy. If you wouldn't call that a sports movie, like a sports comedy movie. I love Waterboy. I think it's hilarious. Just Adam Sandler movies in general are great, but that one especially.
Oh, for sure. And it's one of the classic sports movies, classic football movie, okay? The Water Boy, okay? You still got jerseys about it. 20 about 25 years than when it was dated, okay? The movie is about older than I am, okay? So, let's see here. Okay. Trying to think of questions. Okay. What is your favorite subject at school?
Mm. So probably a basic answer, but obviously PE is really fun just because you just get to act dumb with your friends and just whatever. But if we're talking like actual school subjects, I really do like history because we got a good history teacher and he's pretty funny, pretty entertaining. So I do like history.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what are it's very early in your high school to kind of think of this, but what are some things that you're thinking of majoring in the future, like in college or even trade school kind of thing?
Yeah, if I would love to be like a welder or electrician or something like that, like in the blue collar industry or something where I just don't got to do the same thing every day because I found out that I really don't like just repeating the same thing. So yeah, it is pretty early. So I guess we'll see what happens. But
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on, and hopefully we can do this in person with the media day. Uh, Coach Spears is probably by far my favorite coach um, in the system and stuff like that. But stay froggy, my friend.
yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.